Hey everyone, August 24th, 2023. We're here live. We're talking about the top 39 questions for the startup visa program for Canada. In today's live stream, we're going to cover these top 39 startup visa questions. And of course, if your question is not in one of those top 39 questions, you can ask us directly on our YouTube chat box if you've joined us live. And remember, we're here every Thursday at 11 a.m. And in case you missed us today, expect the raw truth and nothing but the truth, just like the rest of our videos. This is an unedited, uncensored live stream where we cover all of your key questions for the Canadian Startup Visa Program. And I do apologize if you hear some music in the background. I'm on the road, and that's why you will be in very uncontrolled environments. Quick introduction. Who am I? I'm Reza from Inuit Canada, licensed immigration practitioner, and our office specializes in helping businesses and families move across borders. Is this what I do for a living? No, I'm not an actual full-time YouTuber. I work hands-on with our licensed team, working on actual applications and communicating with immigration departments, both inside and outside of Canada, representing our clients and or our B2B partners' clients on a daily basis. Why are we posting this video? This video is made for the purpose of sharing our hands-on immigration knowledge with our worldwide audience, including but not exclusive to existing clients, potentially new applicants, and immigration consultants and agencies, whether they're inside or outside Canada. And if you're thinking about immigrating, we're here to help. Get a free email assessment for eligible applicants by filling out the form below in the description of this video. And of course, if you're an active immigration practitioner, feel free to contact us directly if you need assistance in outsourcing your back office operations. Okay, folks, we're here. We're going to talk about startup visa. We're going to answer all the questions about the Canadian startup visa program. And I'm going to split the FAQ, frequently asked questions, into two parts. Our short beginner version for those who are new to the program or considering applying, some basics. Then the second part of this video will be the more advanced questions for our audience who know much more about the Canadian Startup Visa program or are already in the process. So number one, is the Startup Visa program a direct Canadian permanent residency program that you can apply for from outside Canada? Yes, it is. That was an easy one. Number two, can I receive my Canadian permanent residency in 1 year or less if I apply for the Startup Visa program? The typical current timelines are 1.5 to 2 years for decision on your PR application. So if anyone is expecting today, the current environment, to get a permanent residency in 1 year or less, you are dreaming. Number three, will a designated organization approve for the startup visa program, approve my new business startup concept or your new business startup concept? I mean, will they admit you and endorse you? If you work with the right contacts, yes, in most cases it can be approved. If you're confident your concept is top of the line, of course you can apply directly, and as long as it's innovative, scalable, and has significant benefit for Canada, they will approve you. Number three, do I need a consultant or lawyer to do my startup visa application? No, it's not mandatory. You can actually do it yourself if you choose to. Number five, is it true that all I need for a successful Canadian PR application under the startup visa program is a letter of support, a language exam score of Canadian language benchmark of 5 in either English or French, minimum settlement funds, and a medical or criminality clearance report, and clearance report on making sure I'm not misrepresenting? And the answer to that is, on paper this is true. In reality, it's 100% false. If that's all you have and a business plan and a letter of support, you're not going to be happy later on when the results come up. Number six, do I need to apply for the work permit under startup visa program after I've been approved and endorsed with a letter of support by a designated organization? Answer is, the work permit is optional, not mandatory. You can apply for your Canadian permanent residency without work permit or apply for it later on within the validity of your letter of support. Number seven, can I apply as a sole founder entrepreneur under the startup visa program, and will it affect my chances of being approved for the Canadian PR? compared to maybe being in a group? Answer: your chances will not increase or drop if you're in a single applicant in a startup visa program. The key is to prove your previous experience as a subject matter expert in the field, past management and entrepreneurial experience, very important, and proactive role in terms of showing real progress and investment in your startup business. Then in that case, you may have a better chance in case you don't get along with the rest of your startup visa co-founders if you're thinking of joining a group versus doing it on your own. Number 8, how long is the current processing time for the startup visa work permits? Answer: it depends on the region you're applying from. We've seen 2 weeks in Europe, 4 weeks in other regions, and 4 months in other high volume locations. So it is very dependent on the embassy and your nationality and residency. Number 9, how long is the current PR processing times for startup visa program? The answer: the new startup visa PR applications are starting to be processed within 16 to 18 months from the time you've actually applied for your PR. The PR decision would take another 3 to 6 months from that timeline. The previous startup visa applications from 2020 took twice as long to be processed. Number 10, if you've applied for your PR in 2021 under the startup visa program, when can you expect the IRCC to start processing your startup group? The answer: we're seeing 2021 startup visa groups being processed today for their PR, and a decision even being issued this year. If you haven't heard back from IRCC yet, you don't have your permanent file number, and you've applied in 2021, expect it very soon within this year. Number 11, when can you apply for the new 3-year open work permit option under the startup visa program? The program is announced, obviously, but not implemented yet as of August 24th, 2023, which is today when we're making this live stream. We expect, if it is actually going to be implemented, to be done anytime within the second half of this year, and obviously fall mid-September to, let's say, mid-November. Okay, folks, we're going to jump into more advanced frequently asked questions and a bit deeper into the program. This part is not for beginners, okay? And we will come back to your questions on our YouTube live channel. Okay, let's jump into number 12. If my designated organization is located in one province, do I have to go stay there on my work permit until my PR is issued? The answer is no. If you do not have any geographic commitments in your agreement signed with the designated organization, you can be anywhere in Canada except Quebec, although your incubator, venture capital, or angel investor is in another part of Canada. Number 13, will it increase my chances of startup visa PR approval if I apply for work permit and enter Canada? The answer to that is applying for a work permit and not showing progress is not helpful, and therefore the business progress and investment is more important than the work permit. Here is an example to give you clarity. IRCC prefers startup visa groups which have hired Canadians and invested in operations in Canada, even if they're not themselves in the country, versus co-founders who have entered Canada with a work permit and not done anything besides work on business plans or do some light marketing or meeting with the incubators. That's pretty much not what they're looking for. They're looking for serious business progress and investment. Number 14, if I apply, if my startup visa work permit is refused, will it affect my PR decision? Okay, the answer, it can especially, it can, if you were hit with misrepresentation or the officer did not believe that your professional profile matches your startup business. So if that's the reason for your refusal, yes, it can, and it will affect your PR. In theory, the work permit and PR application processing are independent, and one is processed by an overseas embassy like the work permit, but the other is processed inside Canada. The work permit refusal does not 100% affect your PR application, but depending on the refusal reasons, could give you some foresight on any upcoming challenges. Based on the information on refusals we have been seeing on the SUV work permit, 70% of them are trivial refusals and will not affect your PR decision significantly, but each case is different, so make sure you're careful. If the startup visa group's letter of support has expired and they need to apply for work permits, can the designated organization reissue it with a new validity date? Yes, it's 100% possible. And I do apologize for the music, folks. It's not under my control. Number 16, if an essential co-founder of a startup visa group plans to leave or withdraw, is there a chance to save the group by issuing the letter of support? The answer is yes, it's possible. Please make sure this happens as soon as possible and not after you receive the permanent file number from the IRCC. We will cover this also later on in question number 22 for the details in the process to do this. Number 17, can the designated organization reissue the letter of support if their startup visa group requests it? Yes, of course. As I said, there's nothing stated in the regulations or by IRCC that they cannot reissue the letter of support. If they're not doing this for you, they're just being lazy or coming up with some excuses. Number 18, how many times can a designated organization reissue the letter of support? The answer, in theory, it's an infinite number of times, but in reality, you do not want to go over more than one reissuance, since it would look very odd to the IRCC unless the IRCC officers have requested a recommitment of your incubator, venture capital, or angel investor during the review of your final PR application, or you're seeking to renew or apply for your work permit, and that's why you need a valid letter of support. Number 19, how much money do I need to show as an investment into my startup business? Well, there's no stipulated minimum investment. However, remember that this is an economic immigration program. Having zero investment or funds to invest in your startup business will guarantee you a refusal unless you have external investors. The investment amount you state in your business plan under the startup visa program will be what you should use as your group's commitment in terms of investment funds. Number 20, if you registered a business inside Canada for your startup visa program requirements and received a work permit, do you need to stay in that specific province or can you reside in another province of Canada? Technically, you could reside in another province, but you would not be eligible for the provincial government's medical health care coverage for you and your dependents inside Canada if you're residing in the other province. Number 21, can a startup visa co-founder apply for another Canadian PR program at the same time that they have their PR under process within the startup visa? The answer, the IRCC will withdraw your other application based on whichever PR is approved first, and in case it's the non-SUV PR application which is approved first and you're an essential member of your group, they will refuse the rest of your co-founders, all of them, by default. Number 22, can an essential member or co-founder in your startup visa be replaced, removed, or converted to a non-essential member? The answer is it is possible if your designated organization cooperates with your group. You can change essential members to non-essential and non-essential to essential members, or remove members completely. But be very careful when you do this, as IRCC may use this against you depending on when you complete this change. Before you receive the temporary file number, after you receive the permanent file number, or whether you actually have started receiving IRCC request letters. If you do not justify the change, explain to your designated organization and for them to update everything on your commitment certificate, then this can create serious problems for you down the line for your PR application. If you make this change after you receive the IRCC permanent file number, this can also raise flags and suspicions by the IRCC officer. Remember, we're always posting about these key details for IRCC Startup Visa Program and other investment immigration programs for professionals and entrepreneurs. And if that's what you're interested in, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel for more deep dive videos. Number 23, the list continues. Can you have your family members or relatives join you as co-founders as part of the Startup Visa Program? The answer is yes. There's no restrictions on not having family or friends in your startup group. Keep in mind that their professional profile, work experience, and expertise should be related to your startup business, and they should keep an active role in the startup. Will your chances of PR approval under the Startup Visa Group increase if you have a letter of support from a venture capital or angel investor? The answer is technically this is not true. However, the reverse of this is true, that having a letter of support from certain incubators can reduce your chances of approval. However, these two key points are the main factors that can increase your chances of PR under the Canadian Startup Visa program. A venture capital or angel investor actually commits investment funds to your startup business and pays up while you're waiting for your PR approval, not promising to pay you later if you meet all the key milestones. And two, you have your very proactive startup business owner who includes, and your startup business has customers, maybe pilot projects going on in Canada, or maybe even early revenues. Number two, those are the things that would affect your startup success rate. Number 25, if you enter Canada with a startup visa work permit, can you invest in another business on the side or start another business altogether? Yes, you can. You can control equity in an infinite number of businesses or start a new business on the side. But in order to make sure you have a successful startup visa PR approval, you need to prove that your main focus and attention is the startup business and that you're proactive in that. The rest of it, whether you're investing in other businesses and you have ownership, that's a whole nother matter. There are no restrictions on investing in other businesses. Number 26, if you enter Canada with the startup visa work permit, can your spouse who has an open work permit be also working for your startup and be paid? The answer is yes. No restrictions on this matter. The more people working for your startup, the better. Number 27, can I have a Canadian or non-Canadian partner as part of my startup business? Um, yes, of course you can. Hold on, folks. You can have any partner from anywhere in the world as long as they do not control the startup company or the intellectual property, meaning that they should not have more than 49% of the controlling stake of your startup business. This is a key eligibility criteria as part of the startup visa program, that the co-founders and your designated organization combined should be controlling more than 50% of the voting share rights of the startup business. And number 28, if you're inside Canada and your startup visa PR is refused, God forbid, what are your options and how will it affect your spouse and children's status inside Canada if they're all there with work permits or study permits? If you're refused as the main applicant, your status inside Canada, if you have a work permit, will not be valid anymore. You can apply for judicial review if you believe that an error in law has been made in the decision of your immigration application, but does not give you status inside the country. So you can either change to a visitor record or try to apply and be sponsored under another company and convert to another status. Your spouse and children's work or study permits will be valid until the end of the permit. They can continue to work or study as per the original permit, which was issued to them, but without the option of renewal if they were under your status. Number 29, are IRCC officers calling startup visa co-founders both inside Canada and overseas to interview them over the phone regarding their startup business progress, their role, their relationship with the designated organization, or how much they paid their lawyers or consultants? The answer is yes. They have been calling Chinese nationals and Iranian nationals, both overseas and inside Canada, and interviewing them with very specific questions that can last over an hour. Yes, we do have the list of these questions, and we believe that it is likely that RCC officers will start to call other nationalities potentially in the near future. Number 30, when can I expect my temporary IRCC PR file number, and when can I expect the permanent file number? The answer, approximately 6 months after you submit your original PR application under the startup visa program, you will receive a temporary file number that starts with the letter X. And approximately a year later, or maybe even a year and a half later, depending if you're lucky or not, you will receive a PR file number starting with a permanent PR file number starting with the letter E, and that 1.5 years is from the original PR application date. This timeline was much longer for applicants who applied in 2020 during COVID-19, but now it's improved, right? And these are reflected now in the current application processing times. Number 31, what happens after I receive my permanent PR file number from IRCC under the startup visa group? After you receive the permanent PR file number, you will receive a request letter from the IRCC officers reviewing your PR application, whether they will request an updated business plan, business progress, updated Schedule A, family information, travel history updated, updated contact and residency info, and anything related to you and your family. Any updated medical or police clearance reports can also be requested, and updated minimum settlement funds are definitely requested with investment funds. And in some cases, requesting to submit your biometrics if you have not already done so. And the number of IRCC request letters depends on your startup visa group's activity and the specific officer reviewing it. It can range from 1 letter to 4 to 5 letters back and forth. You can watch our video on how IRCC processes your startup visa PR application for more insight. Usually, after you receive a PR, permanent PR application within 1 to 5 months, you can expect that IRCC request letter about your startup visa application. Number 32, if several co-founders of the startup visa group are overseas and only one is inside Canada with a work permit, will it affect your PR application decision? The answer, not necessarily. Everyone in the group will be scrutinized to check their proactive role in the startup and their relevance. Whether you're inside or outside Canada, each co-founder will be independently reviewed by the IRCC officers, especially if they're non-essential members or essential members of the group. Number 33, if you have a startup visa work permit, can you come into the country as you please, or do you have to spend specific amount of time in Canada? The answer, you have the flexibility to move in and out of Canada with your work permit as long as you stay proactive in your startup business and can justify your role defined in your business plan and commitment certificate under the startup visa program. Remember, if you do apply for work permit, you may get a one-time entry visitor visa. If you want to go back and forth, you do need multiple entry visitor visas. Having a work permit does not necessarily allow you to travel back. It is not a visa, it is a permit. Number 34, can you cancel or fire your business or legal representative while your startup visa PR and or work permit are under process? Answer is yes, you can, 100% possible, and it will not negatively be viewed by the IRCC. It could, obviously, you don't want to do it at a sensitive time when IRCC is requesting info and giving you a deadline of 14, 30, or 60 days. You want to do it when you do have time, unless you're representing yourself, so you can just fire your legal rep anytime. 35, can you change your designated organization after you've been issued a letter of support? The answer is, in theory, yes, but in reality, you will lose all the payments you made to the designated organization and have to go through the process again with your new incubator, venture capital, or angel investor, and have to justify to the IRCC later on why you switched it. You would need to push back, and you would not be pushed back in terms of PR processing or backlog as long as you web form this update immediately to IRCC and your new designated organization sends the new commitment certificate to the IRCC directly. You can also add designated organizations to your endorsement or have multiple letters of support, such as a venture capital or angel investor combined together, or one of them with an incubator combined. It is possible and is stated on the IRCC website. Number 36, can you apply for other accelerators or other incubation programs while you're waiting for your startup visa PR, even though those accelerator programs are not part of your designated organization, could be inside or outside Canada? The answer is yes, 100%. This will actually help your application because it will look like you're proactive and very serious about your startup business. Keeping in mind that you need to stay in communication and update your designated incubator, venture capital, or angel investor throughout the processing time and never lose touch with them. They are a key component of your application since they issued the letter of support. Plus, actual progress in your business is significantly more important than just being admitted to a new accelerator program. Number 37, how can I communicate or update the IRCC about my startup visa PR application? The answer, you can only communicate with the IRCC via web forms before they start reviewing your application and requesting additional information and documents from you. You can technically only submit any requests or updates to the IRCC via web form if you have received your temporary or permanent PR file number. Otherwise, there's no way of them knowing what you're sending for what file. Number 38, should you be updating IRCC and your designated incubator, venture capital, or angel investor regarding your business progress and completed milestones? The answer is yes, 100%, at least quarterly with your designated organization if you're not already in touch with them monthly or weekly. And especially after you finish your cohort, you got to keep on updating, communicating with them, meeting them, and every 6 months at least with the IRCC via web form. Here's two bonus questions. The first bonus question, a lot of people ask, what do they mean by unencumbered funds for my minimum settlement funds? Well, if you have investment funds somewhere with your bank or some financial institution or a term deposit, they do want, IRCC needs proof from that financial institution that the funds are available at any time, or if they are, what the penalty is, right? So they will calculate the penalty, and after that you will be able to claim that you can access those funds. That's what they mean by unencumbered fund, unless it's in your checking account and it's not in an investment. Minimum settlement funds cannot be in assets. Remember, like in terms of properties or equity, that is not considered minimum settlement funds. And then the last bonus question, the last question for today is, Reza, do you help startup visa applicants find and apply to designated organizations and apply for their immigration, PR, and work permit? And the answer, of course we do. That's our specialty. We have the full list of questions of what IRCC officers will ask you in an interview, and we have a whole database of different questions of IRCC request letters that come. So yes, we know what we're talking about, and we do help. If you like immigration hacks, creative immigration solutions, or key analysis and the raw truth about immigration policies and updates, then you can click on the subscribe button on your YouTube channel. I do apologize for massive amount of background noise today. I do apologize for that. We're gonna come to your questions real quick. We're gonna do our quick outro. If you're thinking about immigrating, whether permanently or temporarily, of course we can help. If you're a professional entrepreneur or business owner, I can guarantee you only 1 point. You'll know what to expect. The entire process laid out for you and all the risks identified. Our legal agreements are based on payment milestones, which are linked directly to application progression, and we do not take 100% advance payment for your business immigration applications. We have a $1 million liability insurance which protects you and us from fraud or mistakes, as well as a dedicated client trust account with Canadian banks. Our team speaks over 9 languages, and we help applicants from over 50 different countries in their immigration process. Click the link below this video and get a free email assessment for eligible applicants. If you're ready to apply, we're like a one-on-one session with me or one of my immigration team members today, where you can also book a session directly using the link in the description of this video. And if you want to take our immigration knowledge for a test drive before you book and pay for a one-on-one consultation with me or any of my team members, you can tune in on our YouTube channel every Thursday, 11 a.m. North America Eastern Standard Time, where we answer all of your immigration questions for free on the spot. And of course, we are in our YouTube live session now. We've got a whole bunch of questions. I see Safa Saleh really up with a lot of questions today. So it's good to see everyone. Rinkle Patel, currently which month and year is under process in SUV program? I got temporary file number in September 2021. So 2021s have started and have been receiving decisions on their applications. So 2021 is under process right now. Early 2022s have started trickling in too. Okay, Nikki Patel, hello. Good morning, Reza. Hey, Nikki, nice to see you. Banafshe Behzadi. Hello, Banafshe. How are you? I do apologize for the background noise, folks. I am traveling and it's a little bit tricky. Justina Chukwu, please need a contact of yours, like Facebook, WhatsApp, phone number. Justina, if you need to contact us, please send us a contact request form through our website. That is the best way for our team to answer you or to see how we can help you. I am not on WhatsApp. Mary KH, good morning, everyone. Mary, good morning. Nashwan Ali, hi. Can someone extend his or her work permit after 3 years of startup visa-based work permit if PR processing exceeds 3 years? Does that mean the need for a new letter of support and LMI exam job offer? Thanks. After 3 years, yeah. So if you do have a 3-year work permit, and right now they're not issuing them yet as of August 24, 2023. But yes, it's possible. If you're eligible to renew, you would need a renewed letter of support, which of course they can do, and an employer compliance LMI exempt code again. So you need to pay the 230 during the renewal. Yeah, somebody's vacuuming here. This is horrible. Mary KH, in case one does not have a business idea, but wants to become part of an SUV group, is it possible to do so with the help of an immigration consultant? Uh, Technically, yes, Mary. Technically, yes. Safa Salah Ahmad. There is a lot of controversy about that, Mary. So just, but technically, yes, a lot of people do. Safa Salah. Good morning, Reza. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening, Safa. Colleen. Hi, hello, sir. I'm on a visitor visa. Can I change it to a work permit? Yes, if you meet that minimum eligibility and you have LMI exempt or LMIA job offer, it's possible. Nashvan Ali, my understanding is that hold on, after receiving the permanent or PR application number, it can take 6 to 9 months to receive the final decision, or could it take longer? Am I correct? Please elaborate. Yes. After the permanent file number, anywhere from 1 to 5 months, you'll get IRCC request letters. That can go on for several months, and then a decision months after that. So from the date you get a permanent PR file number to the date you get a decision could take up to 10, 12 months. But again, some people get it much, much faster. I've seen 3 months, seen 6, and I've seen 10 and 12 months. It really depends. There's no standard quality processing timelines that they really follow with after you get your permanent file number. It's only within the total period of time for the decision that they look at that. And what they do is just they push up the IRCC processing time on their website to make sure they're within their prescribed timelines. Safa Saleh, the work permit processing time from UAE has been reduced from 30 weeks to 12 in the last update. Has the approval rate been changed now according to that, and how much the success rate? No, the approval rate has not really improved. If anything, it's gone worse. And remember, the processing times are historical. They're not an indication of future. So all the recent applications, I think in the last few months or 6 months, they aggregate that information. So it could mean it's being done faster. Vimal Bhai, sir, I have visited Canada, so after coming there, work permit ties sake. Visit Canada, so after coming there, work permit. Yeah, I mean, you can convert if you have the eligible LMI job offer or LMI exemption. I'm gonna switch locations, folks. I'm sorry I have to do this, but looks like we're in a very noisy area. I do apologize. Give me a second. This is very unconventional, but yeah, that is better now. Okay, okay. That was noisy as hell. Um, whew. Vimal Bhai, sir, I have visited. Yeah, Adus Abu Bakr, Mumita Rahman, my spouse, I love you. Okay, good. Everyone should love their spouse. That's good. That's a very lovely message. Safa Saleh, Ahmed Al Bahrani. If letter of support has been expired, can we submit the work permit with continuous support documents from investors instead of expired letter of support? Does this impact the approval rate by the officer? No, you need a new letter of support. They'll refuse you 100% if you don't have a new letter of support when you're applying for a work permit application. Safa Saleh, do we have to keep submitting the work permit regardless of the number of rejections while we are waiting for PR? You don't have to, Safa. That's your choice. Nobody is forcing you to apply and keep on applying for a work permit. That's a different thing. Hey, Aftab, how are you? Aftab Khan, nice to see you. You've been in touch with Ehsan, I believe. I will try to get back to you if you're in my inbox. We've been going through a huge change internally, structurally, so we are delayed in responses. Just so you know. Fatoyumbo John Fato, does one need to combine the minimum settlement funds under startup visa and work permit? Um, does the one need to combine? No, I mean, combine the minimum settlement funds. No, I mean, it's just the main applicant, a co-founder, they need their settlement funds and the investment funds separately. Combining settlement funds doesn't really work, no. And Aftab Khan, last time I checked with Esa, he said you didn't send your updated pitch deck. So I don't know if there was something that you needed to do with them, because they need to onboard you and make sure all your documents are in order. Then we sign you up. Then, we can go to the rest of those steps we discussed. M. Jacob, hi Reza. Hope you're doing great. Appreciate this great effort. Thank you, M. Jacob. Appreciate it. Safa Saleh. Haha, because I submitted the work permit for third time now. Cross fingers. Yeah, it could happen, Safa. There's no, like, people sometimes get it after the third time. There's no restrictions. It's just you have to overcome any um, refusal reasons that they have issued before. And the second issue is you have to show good proactivity in your startup. So don't just reapply with the same documents and information. Add up, build it up, maybe improve your application. Angel, hi Reza. Hey Angel, how are you? It's been very noisy today where I was just now. It's crazy. Fatuyinhu, John. For IELTS, if I score 4 in one of the categories and overall 6, will it be acceptable? No. In immigration, in Canadian immigration, they look at uh, especially with permanent immigration programs like PR, they are looking at each band. They don't look at overall score. Overall score is for study permits and education and other things. Will reply to you. Yes, Aftab. We're way behind in responses, Aftab Khan, but Launchpad can definitely assist in terms of making sure you've got everything on before they onboard you and we onboard you. Adus Abu Bakr. Mumita Rahman, my spouse, I love you. Great. I, everyone loves everyone in this YouTube channel. Continue, John Fatah. Hi, I've learned a lot from your YouTube. Thank you. No problem. Amir Shekhar Hareza. For PNP, is work experience certificate and insurance needed to be signed by government Dargostari in Iran, or just official translation is enough? Work experience certificate? No, I mean, if it's from a private entity, it just has to be officially translated, right? There's no, it has to be officially translated. So if the official translation requires that, then that's 100% required. So you cannot do an unofficial translation. Everything has to be official. And he says, how can I have a consultation with you? Go to our Ingwe store. I'll just put it in the chat. That's the link. I just put it in the chat. That's our store. You can book consultations directly on the website. Amish Shakari, Rajesh Pradhan. Hello, sir. I'm from India. Hello, Rajesh. Nice to meet you. Ahmed Khalid. Hi, Mr. Reza. A person having a work permit for starter visa can travel back and forth to his country or other countries. Yes, if you have a visitor visa to travel back, correct? The work permit doesn't force you to stay in Canada. But if you want to return to Canada, you need a valid visitor visa, because the work permit is a permit, not a visa, unless you're going to the US and coming back. Rajesh Pradam, I'm a student. I want to go foreign countries. Please help me. Rajesh, right now, uh, we are not accepting student applications at the moment. Apologize. Angel, a spouse of a SUV primary applicant who got a 3-year open work permit valid till May 25th with opt-in option, had applied for TRV extension. Strange that he got a visitor record which does not authorize the re-entry. Well, Angel, that's weird, but maybe they applied incorrectly. What do you think? Because that is pretty weird. I mean, I'm assuming they're applying correctly, but you can call IRCC and get it clarified. If it's their mistake, you got to continue correspondence with them, right? Especially through the contact center to get this sorted out. Sounds like a weird mistake. Rajesh, can I apply for hotel just for Canada? Rajesh, you can apply for any jobs you like. There's no restrictions. After Hassan has cleared everything in June, he's happy to proceed. Been waiting for your reply. I know you might be busy, but we appreciate a reply. Okay. I'll talk to Hassan off top, and we'll coordinate something with you soon. Yeah, give me till first week of September, because I'm traveling and we've had a lot of internal changes and it's been a little bit crazy. Mary Kate, how can you contact your office in Dubai? Hi, Mary. We have only a liaison office. It's not a physical office to visit. Although it is a physical office, they don't accept walk-ins or immigration applications. They assist us in liaison. So if you submit your request through our web form on our website, we can have them reach out to you if you have questions. Amir Shikar, but for the PMP, is it added that the insurance is needed? In no place does it say the insurance is needed, Amir. Okay, but it's up to the officer to believe that you actually have the work experience that you're claiming, and therefore you need to make sure the documentation is really good. Okay, folks, if there's any other questions, I'm at your disposal. Otherwise, of course, if everyone knows, we or don't know, we're here every Thursday 11 a.m. You North America Eastern Standard Time, local time in Toronto, on our YouTube channel to answer all of your questions or provide general guidance. Remember, this is not a consultation. Your case can be very specific, and it is in no way specific to your profile. This is general guidance and answering generic questions. Um, Adus Abubakar. Okay, he's sending messages about his spouse. Great. It's good. It's good. I like the fact that he's got very, very positive energy, sending love messages to his spouse. I like that. That's good. It's not Valentine's yet, but maybe too early, but it's never too early, right? Or ever too late. Ahmed Khalid, if a person wants to apply for starter visa and gets a work permit, at what stage they should apply for a visitor visa? Well, when you get a work permit, they give you a single entry in most cases, Ahmed. So you can enter. But if you need a multiple entry for later on to come back and forth, you can always apply from inside Canada with a valid work or study permit. Nancy Pidzul, hi Reza. Hi Nancy, nice to see you. Amir Shekhar, I think it stated that the work experience added by insurance is the stated government should prove it like insurance. It's so Amir, not every country has social insurance, right? But if they do, it should be. If it's not in English, Amir, then it should be officially translated. If it means officially translated in your country, meaning it has to go to those specific government departments to authorize that translation, then yes, because you cannot submit something that is not an official translation, or if it's not in English or French. Okay. After thank you. No problem. After I'll put you on my list. Montasir Shariar. Someone 2 days early offered me giving an LMI for $16,000. Is it going to be trustworthy? I specifically want you to know that in your network, have you ever heard of giving LMI in charge of amounts? Yes, Montasir, that happens. And the reality is that is something that happens in the market. Is it allowed? No. Okay. Is it legal? No. Okay, but yes, I know and I've heard that it happens a lot. If anyone says they've never heard of it, they must be either dead, sleeping, or lying. But it does happen. It is not legal and it is not allowed, but it is what it is. Nancy points out, we filed sponsorship on July 2023. We don't know anything, any advice. Um, July 3rd, it's quite recent. So you got to wait a few months, Nancy, for an acknowledgement. It can come in 2 to 4 months. In August, IRCC doesn't do much. So forget August altogether. Okay. And it usually takes anywhere from 6 to 12 months, usually 8 to 12 months, to get an application process inside Canada for sponsorship. If you're outside, it depends on the embassy in that region. Nikki Patel, if IRCC works on SUV applications, then why processing times have increased on website? Nikki, again, this is historical data. It may be that there's a new influx of applications, and that's caused it to go up higher. But again, this is historical data. People in 2020, 2021, 2022 are being processed quite well. What happens after 2023? We don't know. Nobody can guess. Ahmed Khalid, at which stage IELTS score is requested for SUV and what is the acceptable score? It's the Canadian Language Benchmark 5, which means reading 4, all the rest 5. No band under that. That's IELTS. Obviously, in TEF, TCF French, or CELPIP, these are different equivalent scores. You need it when you apply for your PR application, but your designated organization may request it before they issue you the letter of support to make sure you're eligible. So keep that in mind. You need it to get the letter of support if your designated organization requests it. Folks, we're running out of time today. It was great seeing everyone. After Khan, good seeing you. Nancy, Amir Shikari, Nikki Patel, of course. Safa Saleh, of course, and Angel. Who can forget Angel, of course. Thanks for everyone for joining us. Mary KH, Banaf Shebehzadi, and Rinkal Patel. We will be back next Thursday, like clockwork. We are on the road, folks. So if you're anywhere inside Canada and you want to meet up, let us know. Happy to meet up. If you do need a consultation, happy to consult you online wherever you are in the world. Remember, take us for a test drive every Thursday on YouTube live stream, uncensored, unedited, the raw truth. 11 a.m. North America Eastern Standard. Thank you, Mary Cage. Ahmed Khalid. Thank you. We'll see everyone soon. Next week, tune in for the latest updates and a lot of more deep dive videos. And if you like this kind of content, of course, subscribe. If you don't need to subscribe. And if you want to send messages to your spouses that you love them, this seems to be a good platform for that as well. There's never enough love in this world, so make sure you make it happen. Thanks, Nancy. Sumandip Karo, hi Reza. Sumandip, we're signing out now. Fatoyunbo, thank you as well. Sumandip, you caught us late, but hopefully next Thursday. Thanks everyone. Take care. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your week.